You probably think your opinions are your own. Your taste in movies, your favorite brands, your political views, even the way you talk about certain topics. Feels personal, right? Like it came from life experience, your upbringing, or just who you are. But what if I told you that a lot of the thoughts in your head weren't actually formed by you? What if they were carefully placed there through repetition, influence, and a system that knows exactly how to get into your head without you noticing? That's not a conspiracy. It's how modern life works. And the craziest part is that most people never realize it. It doesn't start big. It starts small. It's not like someone sat you down and said, "Here's what to believe." That's not how influence works. It starts with a scroll, a post, a video, a meme. You laugh, you share, you move on. Then you see something similar, and then again, until it's everywhere. At some point, you start repeating it. You don't remember where you first heard it, but now it feels familiar, comfortable, it's true. It sneaks into conversations, into how you argue, into what you defend. This is how repetition works. The more you hear something, the more likely you are to believe it. Not because it's true, but because it's everywhere. Algorithms aren't just showing you stuff, they're shaping you. Let's talk about social media for a second. People think algorithms are neutral, like they're just there to help you find content you like. But that's not what they're doing. They're not just reacting to your behavior, they're guiding it. They test what makes you pause, what makes you click, what makes you angry. And then they feed you more of that, not because it's accurate, not because it's helpful, but because it keeps you engaged. That's the goal. More time on the app, more ads, more money. So if fear keeps you scrolling, they'll show you fear. If outrage gets your attention, you'll get more of it. Over time, you start thinking the world is worse than it is, that people are meaner, that you're always right, and you won't even notice the shift. Manufactured confidence feels like truth. Here's where it gets tricky. You start saying these things out loud. You repeat ideas with confidence, and people agree with you. Now you feel smart, informed, awake. But all you've really done is internalize what you've been exposed to the most. You didn't actually dig into the idea. You didn't challenge it. You didn't test it. You just absorbed it and made it yours, and now you're helping spread it. This isn't about being dumb. This is about being human. Our brains are built to look for patterns, to seek shortcuts. And in a world full of noise, repetition becomes the shortcut to belief. News isn't what it used to be. Years ago, we all got the news from roughly the same places. It wasn't perfect, but there was a shared baseline. Now, everyone's getting fed different versions of reality. Your feed and my feed? Totally different worlds. You see one story framed as proof of corruption. I see the same story framed as progress. We're not just disagreeing. We're not even seeing the same information. And that's dangerous, because now every conversation starts with two completely different versions of the truth. How do you even begin to agree on anything when your idea of what's happening is totally shaped by your feed? Familiarity doesn't equal truth. Think about your opinions on celebrities, on tech companies, on political figures. Are they based on something you researched or something you saw repeated over and over? There are people you dislike, not because of anything they did to you, but because the internet taught you to dislike them. The way they were memed, mocked, clipped out of context. That constant exposure changed your perception. And that's happening all the time. This is why brand loyalty is so strong. It's not just that one product is better, it's that you've seen it more. Heard people say it's better. Seen influencers casually using it. That brand became familiar, and your brain started trusting it. Social proof. Why we copy what's around us. Here's another thing we don't talk about enough. How much we're shaped by the people around us. If your whole group believes something, you're way more likely to believe it too. Not because you were forced, but because humans are wired to fit in. It feels good to agree with people you like. It feels uncomfortable to challenge the group. So you nod along, even if you're unsure. And after a while, you stop being unsure. It's called social proof. And it's one of the strongest forces shaping your opinions. You trust what others trust. You fear what others fear. And slowly, your personal thinking becomes group thinking. It's not just online, it's everywhere. This isn't just about social media. It's happening in real life too. In conversations, in schools, and workplaces, you hear certain phrases enough, and they stick. This is the way things are. That idea is outdated. Only bad people think that. These ideas get passed around like facts. But half the time, nobody stops to ask where they came from, or whether they're even true. We just accept them. Because going against the flow takes energy. And let's be honest, most of us are too tired to fight every little idea. You're not immune. No one is. Now here's the part that might sting. You're not immune to this. Neither am I. We all think we are. That we're the ones thinking clearly while everyone else is brainwashed. But that's what everyone thinks. And that's how the system wins. It works best when you don't notice it. When you feel like you came to the idea yourself. That's what makes it powerful. It doesn't feel forced. It feels natural. But if you don't stop to check in, if you don't ever ask, wait, where did this belief actually come from? You'll spend your life echoing someone else's thoughts. How to reclaim your opinions. So what can you do? First, slow down. Don't rush to have an opinion on everything. It's okay to say, I don't know enough about that yet. That's not weakness, that's wisdom. Second, mix up your inputs. Don't just follow people who agree with you. Read the other side. Listen without reacting. Not to change your mind, but to make sure it's actually yours. Third, sit with discomfort. If something challenges your belief, let it. Don't run. Let your brain wrestle with it. That's where real thinking happens. And here's something most people don't do. Write it out. Literally. Take a notebook or your phone and ask yourself, why do I think this? If you can't explain it clearly, that's a sign it might not be fully yours yet. Reflection isn't fancy, it's just quiet time with your own brain. And that quiet time is where clarity comes from. Finally, own your thoughts. Don't just repeat stuff because it sounds good. Ask yourself, why do I believe this? Where did I hear it first? Who benefits from me thinking this way? You'll be surprised how often the answer isn't me. Real opinions take work. It's easier to just go with the flow, to believe what everyone around you believes, to stay inside your bubble and feel confident. But easy isn't the goal. Truth is, understanding is, growth is, and those things take effort. Real opinions don't come from headlines, or sound bites, or TikToks. They come from time, from reflection, from making mistakes and learning and unlearning. So if you want to think for yourself, really think, it's not about being louder, it's about being more honest. With yourself, with your process, with your journey. You don't need to agree with everything I said. In fact, I hope you don't. I hope you question it, sit with it, turn it over, test it for yourself. Because that's the whole point. Your mind should belong to you, not to the loudest voice in the room, not to an algorithm, not to a trend, but to you. So next time you're about to say, I believe, stop for a second. Ask yourself, do I? Or did someone else give me that idea and I just ran with it? Think about it, then think again. And if you like this video or it got you thinking, hit the like button. Subscribe if you want more content like this. And feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. Real ones, your own. Thanks for watching. See you next time.